Hello, do you want to inspire people around you? I mean, who doesn't, right? Inspiration is really what helps us get through our days, and we do this by communication. We probably aren't really fully aware how we communicate, but we communicate both ways, consciously and unconsciously. And today I'm going to talk about how to communicate unconsciously and how to really enhance that so that we communicate better and really enhance our relationships because we become more aware of how we are being perceived by really getting into our own state. And so today I'm going to talk to you about unconscious communication and how you can improve your relationships with yourself, with your partner, with your friends, with your clients, and give you one bite-sized strategy so that you can effectively communicate whatever you want to communicate without the risk of being misread or misunderstood. And so we're going to start off with talking about these things in our nervous system called mirror neurons. And so mirror neurons are cells within our nervous system where that is involved in bridging observation and action taking. So these are the neurons that help us observe and act on whatever it is that we observe. So evolutionarily, when we learned back in the day, back in our caveman days, we learned to do things by mirroring someone else, right? And so when we were hunting, say, a fruit, and we watched one person from our tribe grab a fruit and take a rock and then open that fruit with a rock, that's how we learned how to eat. That's how we learned how to survive. So these neurons are ingrained in us. And these neurons are actually really interesting because not only do they bridge observation and action, like the motor part of us, it also has a lot to do with emotional attunement and being attuned with not only how we're feeling, but how others are feeling too. And we usually mirror the emotions of whoever it is that we come in contact with. You know, in this spiritual world, they call it the vibe. You can feel their vibe, you can feel their energy. And what are emotions? Energy, motion, right? So this is what it truly means. And I thought that I was muted for some reason. Thank God I'm not. So how do we communicate? How do we enhance our communication, right? And so the focus is on these mirror neurons, knowing that whatever our state is gets mirrored by whoever we come in contact with. Doesn't just make sense to become that by being more aware with our own internal state, especially emotional, that we get to enhance how we communicate. Because I'm sure you've been in, like, you walk inside a room and then you can just feel that there's tense there. Like you can tell that people have been arguing or people have just been fighting. Like you can't really verbalize what it is that you're feeling, but you just have this instinct that, oh my God, there's like something off here, right? Or if you go to a party and everyone's having fun, and even though you're like, oh, I didn't really want to go to that party, but you end up going, and because everyone's having fun, you're also having fun. This is how we learn, right? This is how we communicate. We communicate via mirroring each other. And so how do you use this to be able to communicate better? Well, the first thing that always has to come with anything is awareness, being aware of our patterns, being aware of our body and emotional state as much as we can. And I know that this is not very sexy, but once we decide to just really become even more present within our body, so we're not just up here, we're not just thinking the thoughts, we're actually feeling into our body, that's when we know that's when we can use our state to influence someone else or inspire someone else. So, because I'm sure you've just walked into the room extremely angry. I remember one time where I was working in a corporate job and we had this office where, you know, there were maybe 10, 15 of us. And, you know, I just got angry the one time, like after going to a meeting, and felt very, very angry. I walked back into my desk, and immediately one of my coworkers, I didn't even say anything. I just went to my desk, like extremely angry. And then a coworker just said, what's wrong, right? You can tell we have this natural instinct because our communication is 80% unconscious, right? So by being aware of our emotional state just allows for us to be able to communicate how we want to communicate via our feelings. So like I asked you at the beginning of this video, do you want to inspire people around you to take action? Well, the first thing that you want to be doing is to be present with your own internal state and ask yourself, well, for example, it's your partner, you want to have a conversation with your partner and you want to inspire them to buy you that nice dress, right? So you want to first start feeling inspired in your own personal state, and then because then that will come off unconsciously and whoever you're talking to is going to pick that up. We do this unconsciously all the time, right? Like I'm right here, I'm talking to you, I'm making eye contact, so you're more likely to listen versus like if I'm up here and just kind of like, you know, like doing this, looking not interested, you're not going to watch this, right? So we do this all the time. You're already doing this unconsciously, and by becoming more aware of it and being able to control it and shift it yourself, you're going to be one powerful communicator. And so the one powerful bite-sized tip is really just become aware of your body, be aware of your patterns. And if you're someone who needs more help with being more in your body, one thing that you can do is do something that is physical, like moving your body. So it could be dancing, it could be walking, it could be working out, it could be meditation, it could be as simple as breathing and doing some breath work to just really allow you to ground down in your body and become aware of those emotions. And I was going to say something else, but yeah, that's it. Just be very, very present within your body, because once you become present in your body and you know what emotional state you're at, you're able to inspire people around you just based on your emotional state, because it's not what we say, it's not the words we say, it's how we say it and how we are being perceived, right? And so once we become more aware of that, then we are going to be better communicators. Doesn't that just make sense? So today, your little small bite-sized tip is to just become more aware of your body and be aware of your language, be aware of your body language, your tonality and the cadence of how you speak when you're talking to someone, and just be aware and notice when you are what you are saying with your unconscious mannerisms, because that has the biggest impact on your communication. And so that is it for today. I hope this helped. Let me know how this goes, and I cannot wait to watch you crush it. Keep going.